Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story. We're getting started here. We're going to be playing some more of our Dolmenwood campaign. And I still haven't fixed that woo. One of these days I'll remember to do that. So welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining us here. We're playing some old school essentials. We're doing a little bit more of our Dolmenwood campaign, and specifically, this session is taking place in the Incandescent Grottoes, one of the level 1, well, I guess it's like level 1 to 2 is what it says, a classic dungeon adventure for characters of 1st to 2nd level, and so that's what we are doing here today. I think this is our 4th session officially playing around in this adventure module, so if you've picked up Incandescent Grottoes and you're watching us for an example of how it could be played, I'm sorry. That maybe it's like things not to do, or things not to let your illusionist touch, whatever the case might be with that. So we're going to get started here. If you haven't joined us in our Discord server already, we'll invite you to come hang out with us there. That's a great place to come hang out with other people that are interested in tabletop games and maybe even find people to play games with. We have an LFG channel that you can post things to. I think there's a couple of open games in there right now looking for people to play. I think I saw a call for Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, which was a lot of fun. We've played that here on the channel before, and I think there's another post or two that are open. We also do run a community campaign, which is a great way if you've been watching the channel and you want to come on here and play in a game with us. That's a great way for you to be able to do that. It's a 5th edition game that we've been running in the Greyhawk campaign setting. So if you're looking for a game that's a great, just jump into the Discord, let us know, introduce yourself in the lobby, and we'll point you in the right direction for how to roll up a character and get signed up. It's often been the case that someone might join the server on a Wednesday and find themselves already set with a character playing on a Friday, so jump in there and check that out. We've got a couple of, well, we got at least one more game here this weekend. If you're wanting to catch us live, you can catch us back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for the second session of 20 Sides against Lankmar. We have been, we're doing a mini campaign of about maybe 10 sessions or so that are going to be taking place in Lankmar using the DCC RPG rule set. So hop in here tomorrow night if you want to catch that and kind of see. We haven't even stepped foot in Lankmar yet. Right now the characters are sitting on a boat hoping to pull into port, and I'm sure nothing complicated will happen while they're on the ship. So that'll be tomorrow night at 7. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. That's right.
So where we're picking up here with Dolmenwood, we are sitting on the 6th day of Chisting. It is summertime now. The characters had come to the Crystal Caves with a bunch of mining equipment to unearth some of these crystals that they could fetch a fair price. They've got a couple of different buyers that they could sell them to. And they'd been doing this for about half the day when the cavern that they came into the caves from had collapsed after carcass crawler nest had been unearthed, and those creatures, their movements, their tremors caused this collapse that trapped them in the caves now. And so they are separated from their cart that had a lot of their supplies on it. And time is the enemy right now. How much time is it going to take them to find an alternative way out of the caves before torches run thin, before food grows short, and they open themselves up to starvation and such. So they were plucking along, kind of traveling northward from the entranceway to the caves, and started to come across some more kind of worked stone tunnels, old construction from long, long ago, and discovered a couple of monuments, one of which was this spire, this tower of skulls, that contained some of the hollowed out parts of those skulls inside the eye sockets could be seen gleaming gemstones. And Wayman the illusionist, who had been seeking this entire time a ruby to empower one of his spells, decided to take a chance and reached in to try to grab the prize, and unfortunately fell to the curse of the thing and was disintegrated. The party didn't have a whole lot of time to mourn this death, probably still in shock a bit as they moved northward. I believe Thomas took some time to collect Wayman's remains, but they had no choice but to move forward, and they progressed through to another chamber, another monument. This one seemed to have a bunch of miniature figures that were immaculate representations of different creature types. Some of them were human. There was 2 elves in the mix. I might be retconning that, but there were 2 elves there, 2 elf statues there. There were also 2 statues that were replicas of the person that they've been seeking since they've come to the Dolmenwood. The 2 statues that were in the likeness of a middle-aged woman, round, frizzy hair, in sort of a sorcerer's smock. And they also saw before their eyes little replicas of themselves being created in real time as they passed through that chamber. They moved forward one more chamber to the north, and they discovered a woman matching that description of Marjoram Gryver. And they had a bit of a conversation. She told the party, they didn't have like a direct conversation. They didn't call her by that name, Marjoram Gryver. They just asked her some questions. She said that she had been living here in this place for some time, selling herbs and mushrooms and crystals to interested parties. And for a time, the party tried to don the appearance that was why they were here, that they were seeking to buy some crystals of their own. But seeing their mining equipment, seeing the crystals that they had already procured, she started to get a little suspicious about who they were. And some more personal questions finally kind of got her to feel a little bit threatened. And so she did try to run away as the group kind of lunged towards her to maybe subdue her and try to take her down to capture her for questioning. She managed to escape out the room into the north. And so where we ended up, the party had just moved. There's a little antechamber there that with double doors that they moved past, and they came into this wide 15 foot wide passageway that is ringed with murals on the north side. And to your west is where you are led to believe that she fled, because you heard her go in this direction, and you heard a big splash as if she had thrown herself into a body of water. And in that direction, you can see that there is a breach in the floor, a chasm of about maybe I guess you can't see it quite yet. But it seems like there's a massive like break in the floor, and you can hear kind of rushing water coming from down below. But getting there may be challenging. There's a little bit of a wrench thrown into this, as there are 2 giant frogs that are just sitting there croaking. They're not threatening you at all. They're just sitting there perched. Their breath sacs kind of ribbiting, but they are aware of you. They see you. Someone in the group is holding a torch yet, I believe, and so there is light, and they're looking out in your direction. But maybe before we go any further, we're going to give you all a chance to introduce your characters. Starting with Friar Fitzpatrick. So we'll go through here and get some character. Just tell us a little bit about your character. I don't have a prompt or anything for you this morning. Just give us what we need to know about them and maybe where their head is at in the current situation. A lot of competing priorities for things that you might do. So let's start off here with Isaac playing Friar Fitzpatrick.
Hello, good morning. The Friar, as far as his mind is, he's still a bit mourning his friend Wayman, but at the moment he is worried about just getting out of here alive, and not so much more for himself, but for the others. He always feels a very heavy burden that he accepts, but still a heavy burden of trying to keep everyone in one piece. So he is staying vigilant of the others. As far as who he is, Friar Fitzpatrick is a pretty fun-loving. He's a brother of the one true God. His actual blood living brother is in the party with him as well. And he is known to be lighthearted, enjoys wines and other mind altering substances, but overall, he's kind and good natured.
Awesome. We'll turn it over next to Moreen, who's playing Lillibeth, the hunter.
Hi. So, Lillibeth, how's she feeling right now? She wants to get the hell out of here. She doesn't really care at the moment about Marjoram Gryver, except for that she definitely does plan to catch up with her, but strategically she realizes staying here isn't, at least that's what she thinks, isn't in her best interest. She's saddened by Wayman's death. Really sorry she never actually called him by his real name while he was alive. And is really concerned that this whole venture is going sideways in a way that may cause her to rethink how she feels about all of her companions. That said, she feels great gratitude and isn't really ready to make the decision to say, I think we're all messed up and we need to think about something else. So having said that, Lillibeth is a hunter. She's a former scribe, falsely accused actually of having been involved in a forgery scheme. And her greatest asset right now as a hunter is that she's able to sort of like navigate the place that we are in, and is looking forward to doing more of that and getting out of these odd situations.
Awesome. Let's move over next to Ryan playing Sir Geoffrey the Knight.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Ryan playing Sir Geoffrey Fitzpatrick. He's a knight, kind of a disgraced knight here. And I think he's trying to keep a cool head, but he's probably feeling quite a bit in over his head. Even though he's a knight, he probably hasn't seen this much action ever. There's been a lot of close calls. There's been a lot of actual death going on. So I think he's trying to keep it cool, but he's freaking out a little bit. And I think he's got his eye. He's convinced that straight ahead is the way out, and he's pretty much like tunnel visioned. Like in a way, I would imagine him almost as we are like in pause here, like running towards one of these toes to just be like, get out of our way. We have to get out of here, type of thing.
Awesome. And then let's go over to Chris playing Thomas the Minstrel.
Good morning. My name's Chris. I character's name is Thomas Arnhold Penrose Mournspire the Seventh. He just goes by Tom, though, or Thomas. At this particular point, he's intrigued by the Droon being here, with his whole obsession with the finding out more about the Dolmen stones, and apparently Droon guard them. So he's kind of thinking that is going on. But at this particular moment, with Wayman's death and everything, he's kind of taken more of an air of survival mode. One track mind, find a way out before we worry about looking for anything else. And with Sir Silas still being captive, maintaining the goal of first getting out, finding a means of egress out of here, and then we can reassess what's going on, but also capturing Marjoram, so we can, if nothing else, just head for the hills once we get her. So
All right. And pause 1 second before we introduce Winston's character. But as you all have come out here into this hallway with these murals and the big frogs, you can hear audible to the west that rushing water. But your attention for just a moment is turned to the east suddenly as you hear maybe rushed breathing, footsteps moving in your direction, and a figure kind of hurriedly coming towards you. And that's where I'll turn it over to Winston to describe what we are seeing coming into the field of vision of that lantern light.
Cool. So what you would see is a fairly tall, slender being. Maybe Geoffrey has a slight confusion over this, because this is a very beautiful person with long, flowing blonde hair, wearing plate armor that's painted in a kind of blue and red harlequin pattern. They've got a long sword slung over the shoulder. And just for a second, Geoffrey, you think maybe your maiden has come to life, because this is an elf. But upon closer inspection, you can tell this is a man. This is a male elf. And probably the first thing that jumps out to you is different is he has two little blue horns at the top of his forehead that are poking out from the blonde hair. And he also has a lantern and is moving quite hurriedly. And as he sees your lantern, he, pauses and, kind of calls out and says, "Hello, fellow adventurers, explorers."
I immediately turn around with bow drawn.
Roll for initiative. Let's do it. I die immediately. I say, hands up. No. I promise I'm just here to explore the caves. I mean you no harm.
Okay, so I'm gonna lower the bow and see if anybody else is going to say anything yet.
I'm keeping an eye on these frogs. Still weapons drawn, and let's see, where is Sir Geoffrey? Are you right here? Is that right?
Yep.
I say, I've got these frogs. Do you want to go see what this new possible threat is?
And Geoffrey he's kind of probably standing there with his mace kind of shaking towards the frogs and his arm kind of out, blocking the woodcutters from kind of going further forward. And he's probably going to now draw his other sword in his other hand and be holding a weapon out on either side and slowly moving towards the elf character. and he'll say something like, "No offense, traveler, but we have seen our plenty of dangers in these caves already. And if you are not looking for danger and you mean no harm, unfortunately, you are in the wrong place because there is both danger and harm." Um, I guess explain to me why are you here and what are your intentions? Clearly, you've seen that that there's been a cave-in that halts our egress. Uh, uh,
Well, yes, I've been exploring with my companion. Oh, rest in peace. And I'll just bow my head a little bit and say, uh, unfortunately, she just perished. Most likely, hopefully, uh, in the other room, there was some sort of wicked thing that dragged her away. But we've been exploring, and I'm sorry. What is your name? Let's actually have introductions.
I am Sir Geoffrey Fitzpatrick. This is my brother, the good Friar. We're here.
Hello.
Uh,
Hello.
We have Thomas the Minstrel, Lillibeth the Hunter with us as well.
And we have things at the end of this passageway that we need to focus on. So if you're going to help, help. Otherwise, we can do introductions later.
Okay, well, I'll at least tell you my name. You may call me Silver Upon His Brow, and I'll bow deeply. And I will see you have a lantern. I will ignite, snuff out my lantern, attach it to my belt.
Just for clarification, we only have a torch. So
Oh, you have a torch. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
our lantern got disintegrated.
Oh,
Disintegrated.
that's right.
That doesn't
So
mean
I'll
he
see-
can't help.
I'll see your torch, and so I've been coming up. I had a lantern I was carrying with me, and say, well, not to be too pushy, but first thing I think I could do is maybe we could use this torch, this lantern as a bit better, more controllable light source. Maybe.
Hey, Alex, for mindset purposes, how much experience I'm asking specifically for Thomas, but how prevalent are elves? How much experience would we have with elves?
So, from where you're from, dwarves and elves retreated. You're like aware of them, but you've never seen them. They've been withdrawn from the wider world for a few hundred years now.
Okay. And any idea what, from things that we've heard, what we would expect from an elf?
This character that is before you probably doesn't exactly fit the bill, and probably with like kind of the little horn feature upon their brow, like that. It's like close, like there's the pointy ears and such, but your depictions of elves are more kind of that classical kind of Tolkien looking elf, fair skin, blonde hair, pointy ears and such. Of course that's all kind of fable or myth, but
Sure. Okay.
And this is also, and I guess my first time meeting mortals, right, Alex? I think we agreed on that.
yeah. So yeah, they all look just as as foreign, and
I'm like thinking about like, oh, they don't have three eyes.
Yeah. We just all look like bigger aboos. Right?
Yeah.
Basically.
I'm looking for tails. I'm like, I thought you had tails.
Yeah.
I think Joffrey's going to continue to kind of hold both his mace out towards the frogs and his sword out towards the elf and just be like, well, he hasn't tried to kill us yet and doesn't seem to be standing in our way in any way. So I say we focus on these frogs and we get the heck out of here.
Oh, yes. Hold on, friend, Silver. What was it? Silver Brow? Silver upon
his brow. It's
Sorry, no offense. How did you find yourself here? Did you know another entrance way in? We did not see you when we arrived.
so I have come in through because I've passed through the room where there were duplicates, right? So is the idea that I came through the main cave, Alex? I can't remember if we talked about that.
Yeah,
Or if I came through other entrance.
I think you would have came to the south, but you've probably been here for some time. Like they've only been here for 4 or 5 hours now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just yes. I mean, I came in through. There's an entrance. If you don't know, it's down south. But you mentioned a
Oh.
cave in.
Yes, we are trying to escape.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate. Well, back the way I came, I don't think we want to go that direction, unless you want to brave some sort of eldritch horror.
No. Come a bit closer. Let's have a look at you. He's kind of stepping forward too a bit. I know we have these frogs, but he'll step forward just slightly.
Yeah, so I'll step forward as well, and you'll notice that the face of this character is exceedingly beautiful. Just in that very in a harsh sort of angular sense, I guess.
Extremely good looking.
Good looking.
As you're all coming into view of one another, from behind you, those giant frogs that are sitting there at the ledge, they both leap. They kind of let out one last like ribbit, and then they leap further on. It almost looks like they jump over the breach and like put a little distance between you and them.
I think at that point, Geoffrey, paying close attention to them and seeing that other people are engaging the elf, would move up to the ledge and see what he could see.
Okay. Are you carrying a light or a torch as well?
Oh, I don't believe I am, actually.
I think
Who was carrying the torch?
I believe
Friar,
I
I
was.
think.
The Friar was. Okay, so I'll have to stay within the light then. So I don't think I could do that. How far is the reach of the light?
I believe it's 30 or is it 20 feet in OSC?
So yeah, I'm right at the edge of the light as it is.
Let's see. I think lanterns maybe have a slightly bigger range. Maybe not. 30 feet for lantern.
30 feet, okay.
So you would be up to there and then here.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'd be at the edge of the light as it is. So I'll probably just step out as far as I can.
So as you step out into the darkness, you can hear that it sounds like there's more ribbiting from deeper in the hall, like more than just the two.
Well, you say you have the light, friend. Come forward. We need to get out of here.
Okay, I'll step forward and somewhat confidently. I'm not at all worried that you're going to harm me, at least the way that I'm carrying myself. And just say, I'm sorry if I'm a bit uncomfortable, or I've never met mortals before, and there's quite a lot of you all of a sudden. So you've been the first I've actually run into since I've left, my realm.
I guess
What realm is that?
Oh, the realm of fairy. It is.
You're a-
That is the name, correct? All right.
fairy,
I call
yeah.
fairy.
I think fairy.
Yeah.
All of just a comment about the demeanor of the woodcutters. I think all of the woodcutters would withdraw a bit, like, and they're on edge or a little nervous about encountering someone from the land of fairy, and so they're perfectly fine letting the party kind of manage this interaction because they're at kind of a loss of words.
Would the friar know that fairy would be like a fae kind of
Yeah.
and whatnot? Okay, as soon as that happens, he would kind of gulp, and his demeanor would change a bit. Oh, right.
Oh no.
He'll look back to the rest of the group and just say, "Just keep an eye on this one."
I adore you of everybody here, but I am rolling my eyes at that statement. Yes, I'll keep an eye on him.
Come forward with the light.
Yes,
Go find
maybe
my business.
maybe you could illuminate where these amphibious creatures have gone. I am hearing slurping and squishy sounds. It is not good down there.
Oh, of course. We can have pleasantries and whatnot later when we get to a resting spot. Let's solve this problem, huh? And I'll walk up and I'll just shine the light down the hall and just see if I can pick up if there's, how many frogs there are, if they're big, if they look hostile.
So you've got a lantern out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this light
It's
thing
30
on here is like crazy far. I'll have to figure out if I can change the radiuses on those. I think it's all 5e radiuses.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, you'd have to probably get up to about here, I think, before you would see there's at least 5 big, large frogs on the other side of this breach. That's about maybe 15 feet long, 15 feet wide, but they're all just like stacked up on the other side, just sitting there passively, ribbiting. They're clearly like observing. They're watching you. You can see like the light kind of glistening in their big orbital eyes. If you look down, you can see that this is probably like a 20-foot drop into the stream. And down there is like a sandy bank that seems to kind of emerge up out of the water. And you could probably see footprints there. Recent prints likely made by the prismist.
Do we see any Troglodite footprints?
Not as plainly obvious from this distance. Okay. It's just that those are so recent and new that they stand out to you.
I'll just call that out to everyone. There seems to be some footprints. Someone went this way, not a frog.
I think this is the way Margarum may have gone.
I'd like to go ahead and try and track. Get a percentage.
How far down is the water? I'm assuming that's like a
20 feet.
Canyon.
Yeah, 20 feet down it would hit the surface of the water.
And we see the tracks on the side, like the side of the water.
So the tracks that Silver. Is it okay if I just call the character Silver for shorthand?
Yeah.
The tracks that Silver is seeing is actually down here, like on the second level. There's an embankment, and so there's some tracks that are coming up out of the water. So presumably she would have dived into the water, swam a little bit, and then came up on this embankment that's down there.
That's kind of on the side of the shores that the frogs are on.
Yeah. Yep. So like underneath them, you just can't see it until I move you to a different layer.
Gotcha.
Then in that case, I was thinking it was more along the front edge here. Then yes, I won't. There's no need to track because clearly we can't climb up the embankment with frogs standing there.
Well, I do have a rope on me that's not on a 50-foot rope that's not on the cart. I could fashion a rope to try to climb down into the water, unless we want to try to just jump down there.
Rope would be preferable, and I mean I can at least. Yeah, so far they have really just mostly tried to get away from us.
I feel like if we go down there, we're sort of out of sight, out of mind of them. Now they would have upper ground on us to kind of jump down and get us, but
Yes, and I'm not exactly thrilled about that.
Marjoram clearly made it through, though.
Yes, well, who knows how she did that.
Well, listen,
I'll-
I don't want to be too forward, but there seems to be a bit of a trust issue with me. Why don't I go down as the guinea pig? And if the frogs get me, then you can help me, maybe. And if not, I could be the one in danger and earn some credibility.
Geoffrey will start like fastening the rope to go down, and he will say, "It would be no honor in letting you go alone. I cannot call you friend yet, but I will go with you."
Okay.
Do you have like a spike or something that you'd be able to wedge
Oh,
to,
do I? I do have.
or a grappling hook would work?
I actually have a chisel. Would that work?
I think you could reasonably use the chisel to do that.
A lot of my stuff is on the cart, but I did bring the. Yeah, I don't have any kind of. You think the chisel would? One of our chisels would work?
You'll definitely not want to have more than one person climbing down using that as your anchor, but I think that could reasonably work. Just as long as there's something that you're able to attach the rope to, just as there isn't really like a good place to tie it off up here.
I have a. I could use my short sword maybe into the ground.
Sure. Yeah, so just something to kind of wedge, you could be able to find a crack in the ground and like use that as your lever.
And
There's
yeah,
also a score of strapping lads back there. They could hold.
They could hold us.
I like that idea.
Thank you.
Then I won't lose another sword.
Okay. So it sounds like the plan is to have, anybody that is not going down would be able to kind of hold the rope easily for you, as it sounds like Silver and Sir Geoffrey, you guys are going to head down.
Yeah, we're just sort of. My concept is just if the frogs go hostile, I'd rather be one of the ones down there. I think Geoffrey as well.
Okay.
And if they don't go hostile, then we can figure out how to get everybody else down.
Yep.
And you've got.
And just a question, Winston. What are you armed with? I guess maybe did I miss that or?
Yeah, I have a two-handed sword and I'm wearing plate, and I have a short sword and a dagger, so I'm kind of armed up.
Okay. All right.
And
Very
then
good.
I'm gonna, before I head down, I'm gonna, say to Lillibeth, would appreciate it if you could cover us with your bow, my friend.
It's definitely my intention. I'll try and keep you safe.
Thank you. And then also, kind of tell Winston, my brother, keep an eye on me with this fey creature here.
All
Just
right.
gives you a nod
Yeah.
and continues to stare at Silver.
As soon as we're alone, I'm going to start casting weird elf magic.
Yeah,
my
I
favorite
loosen
kind.
I loosen my flute in its little holder on my thigh. I have an anti-fairy thing that I can.
Ooh.
It's getting hostile immediately.
Yeah, the
He's-
flute's
he's-
coming out.
And I'm picturing him like in a Wild West, like with
flute.
As soon as I see that flute come out, I say, "Oh, you're a musician." That's
That's I am.
wonderful. And I unfortunately lost my harp on the way. I'm a bit of a player myself.
Thank you so much, Lyra Lou, for the cheer. We appreciate that. Thanks for the support.
Maybe when
So
we get out of this cave, we can do a duet.
I've heard of the skill of fairy with musical instruments. So
So the two of you start climbing down this rope. You have the light off of Silver's lantern, helping to kind of give you some sight as to what you see as you start to climb down there. So the only people that would be able to see this map would be Winston and Ryan. Can you guys do your tokens have vision? You can see things okay? So
Yeah.
I can't. Okay.
So the sandy beach here, is just within eye shot. You could easily maybe swing your way over there and get your feet onto the embankment without dropping yourselves in the water. And you can see in this is the ceiling here rises maybe 15 feet high, and just like in some of the other caverns that you've discovered, there are pulsating crystals that cover the walls and ceiling. The ones here are they're glowing a white iridescent kind of light, this kind of pearlescent light. The rushing river is flowing from north to south, so the water is heading to the south area here. And that's basically everything you can see. There is a cavern that maybe your light is catching, that there's a tunnel just up here.
Do we get a sense of how deep the water below us is? Can we see to the bottom?
You can see to the bottom. I'm gonna guess it's maybe like 15 feet deep at its deepest.
Okay.
So if we jumped in, we would be submerged. It wouldn't be like waiting.
You'd be submerged, and the current is strong enough that it would probably pull you. You'd have to work actively against the current to not get pulled downstream.
So yeah, I probably will attempt to do some sort of maneuver where hop over to the shore without getting submerged.
Same.
All right, I think no problem. You'll be able to do that. And once you are over here, you can see very clearly like the footprints that are likely created by the prismist, but you also see there are some large clawed markings on the water here. And you can see that it looks like probably your best guess is this was created by some kind of a quadruped creature, large, much larger than Troglodite, and it looks like it probably found some prey or something, as there is what looked like it was carrying or dragging something across the sandy floor here.
I'm gonna unsling my two-handed sword and unsheath it, and just stand ready.
What is my sense of the amphibious creatures above? Are they aware of us? Do they care? Is there?
I think they're aware of you. They're definitely watching you as you came down. But they have not. They didn't make any erratic movements or try to pursue you or anything. They're just keeping a keen eye on you.
I would feel like we could use our hunter down here.
Agreed. If we go this route, I think we're gonna need everyone at once.
I'm gonna kind of shout up to the party, and say, there are some sets of tracks down here. Appears to be Marjorams, and as well as a large creature of some sort dragging something. I don't know if this is the best way to go, but I do not think we should go much further in alone. It does not seem to be immediate danger here now.
Do you want me to take a look?
That may be prudent, yes. I don't know if all of you want to come down or wait and see what you think first.
So is it the case that Lillibeth is heading down there?
Lillibeth is going to go ahead and head down there, and I'll let everybody else decide what they're going to do, of course. Okay.
So Lillibeth, you climb the rope down and you're able to swing and get to the embankment.
Okay. And so as I get there, I would be searching the ground just to see what they saw. Would they be pointing me towards whatever it is that they're seeing?
Mm-hmm. Yep, so the same thing.
Same thing. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and do a tracking roll. It's a percentage roll. And it's 100%. First time ever.
Okay, so you're counting that as you're trying to roll above. You know, it just depends on like how you're tracking it. I always try to hit like under the percent, but if you're doing it the other way, that works.
Okay, so if I at this level, I have a 50% chance of success, so this would be
Okay.
above the 50%.
All right, sounds good. So the large creature, I mean, both the large creature and the footprints of the prismist lead to this cavern up here.
And they're footprints of the prismist.
Correct. Yep.
Lillibeth, are you able to tell? I don't know if your skill is like this precise, but can you tell if the footprints are similar time period? Is one of them softer? Older?
I can tell that I can tell the age of the tracks
This would be
about 5%. Yeah.
probably about 5 or 10 minutes ago. They're sopping wet. There is a trail of kind of moisture or water. She had jumped into the water like she'd be drenched. Her clothes would be wet. All of that is pretty evident that she headed up this way.
What about the quadruped though?
Well, and I was going to ask that myself. Is the are the when I'm looking at the prints, can I tell whether the quadruped's prints are overlapping, like on top of hers, or she's following?
The large creature, the bestial prince, would maybe be a week old or so. And they originate in kind of totally different areas. We'll say that the large beasts originate over here, whereas hers originate here, but then they just happenstance, of course, go to the one outlet from this area is that cavern. So they both go in that direction, but I don't think you'd be drawing a correlation that they're related.
I don't think they came through at the same period, the same time, and I'm thinking as I'm bouncing, I'm thinking that maybe if you're in the water, it might be a good idea to really get out of the water. Anybody who's in the water, and we should probably follow because this looks like it might be the way out.
Then perhaps we should get our party down here, figure out how we can get everyone down, considering we've got people holding the rope.
And we said a dagger would suffice for the last person, maybe?
Yeah, I think if you wanted to offer, maybe the dagger wouldn't quite be enough, but if you could drive like the blade of a short sword, I think if you were able to stake that and get that wedged deep enough, like that would maybe have enough hold to hold a person climbing down the rope.
All right, I'll unsheathe my short sword, and it's this, really fancy, thin, elvish short sword, and just say, well, I honestly don't remember the last time I've used this thing, so go ahead, stake it with this. This will do.
Oh,
One of our mining picks might be better. Wedge it in a crack or something.
you have one on you?
I'm sure one of our woodcutters or
Miners?
whatever. Yeah.
So if you want, I don't know who was tracking all those supplies. I think Ryan, I think maybe you were. If you just want to deduct one of your pickaxes for that
Yep.
purpose.
Had
And
4. We will now have 3.
Also deduct
think,
the rope. Whoever was using that rope, deduct
I
that as well.
already took that off. Yeah. Yeah, because there's probably no way to recover that back, huh?
Yeah.
All right, and I think maybe looking at Thomas, we take care of the staking and organizing the rest of the party to begin going down.
I'll go down last, just in case anything comes up behind us.
I'm just gonna move all the woodcutter folks down there also. Okay, so you got the whole group down there safely.
Question with the rope: would we be able to maybe put a rock on it or something so it wouldn't sway back to the other side, just to have the rope available on this end of the bank, or is it too short to do that?
No, you got plenty of slack because it's only 20-foot drop, and I think the rope is 50 feet, so you could easily do that.
All right.
Yep.
One of us would, I'm sure, definitely do that.
So, you all make it down there, keeping an uneasy eye on the frogs as you do so. Once in a while, as you're each walking down, maybe Thomas, you're the last one, you can see that they're all like looking maybe a little bit hungrier, or that the numbers game had played moved into their favor, but they don't make a move. Maybe you just were imagining that.
Okay.
And so you climb on down there, and you're all back together. So what would the group's next move be?
I'm going to hand my lantern off to one of the woodcutters and just say, hey, hold on to that. I think I'm going to need to be ready to fight, possibly. Just give it to Winston.
Sounds
Weird,
good.
On the foundry, I can see my token in the woodcutter, but I can't see anybody else's tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. Yeah.
You may need to refresh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
refresh as well. I'm having a hard time seeing all the tokens.
So as you guys are refreshing, just an update. I'm going to advance time by 2 turns for everything that has happened. So that's 2 more turns on the torch, and then it would be the first. We'll just count it as the first 2 of that lantern. We'll say that the lantern came into play here for silver with a fresh thing of oil.
So I'd like to bring Apu with me on my shoulder, if he'll come.
Oh, that's
and,
right.
And I want to continue to track what I can already see. And bring the wood, my woodcutter with me.
All
Does
right.
anybody else want to follow?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex, I refreshed. I know that I'm still unable to see any tokens other than the 2 that I have control over.
Me
That's
too.
weird.
Same here.
Maybe a vision issue?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it would be a problem.
Use your imaginations.
Yeah, I guess just I don't know how to troubleshoot that. So, sorry.
Alex, I have a question for you. Are there monkeys in Fairy? Or am I like, what is this thing?
No, I think like animal life is probably pretty common, at least like things that are like hybrid or take features on. So yeah, I think the monkey wouldn't be like It's probably like the most normal thing of this bunch. Maybe you're even like, this is the leader right here. This is.
Yeah, right. I will show
Um,
deference to him.
so I put the party token down. Are y'all able to see that?
I can see the party
Nope.
token.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
I can't. I can't.
Neither can I.
Sorry, guys. You're gonna have to rely on descriptions because I don't know what's going on there.
I think we can do that.
But I'm gonna use basically this is too much token management anyway, so I'm just using the party token. This is where it gets rough because like trying to produce this also audio, and I'm referencing tokens and shit that nobody can see. So I got to be kind of mindful of that.
Okay.
All right, so it sounds like the group ultimately wants to move forward, and I'm assuming at this point you're not trying to do a split party thing, correct? Okay, so you're moving forward here, and you're moving now into this next chamber, where you can see the ceilings get higher, 15 feet high, and there are pulsing crystals that cover the walls and ceiling here. You can see orange and yellows coming from each of these crystals. This is a beautiful sight as you're coming in. In the middle of the cavern here is a pool that either is absorbing or reflecting that light. And you could see that there must be some kind of a temperature differential here. From your standpoint, it's very cool and, you know, kind of that underground consistent temperature down here. But there's steam rising from this pool in the middle and a rim of crystals deposited on its edge. From your vantage point, there is a cavern that opens up to the north and a cavern that opens up to the south. Up over here in the northwest side of the chamber, you can see that there is a hole in the ceiling, maybe about 5 feet wide, that is 20 feet up. Dark up in the hole.
Do we see any more footprints, either kind?
Do I need to reroll?
No, you don't. No need to re-roll that. So the large tracks from the kind of clawed foot, those, the tracks that you are tracking lead to the south. It's not as sandy in here as it was on the embankment, but there's plenty of evidence of that creature prowling about in this chamber. But those fresh set of prints that those week old prints that you were tracking lead specifically down to this southern cavern, whereas the Prismist's footprints. And when I'm saying footprints, like a boot, right? So they're traveling to the north.
I'm gonna just on a whim just say, you said she was a prismist, right? Some sort of a illusionist.
Yes.
Is it possible that we've fallen for some kind of a ruse? I'm just gonna prod at the boot prints and just try to make sense of, like, are these real? Am I actually touching these? Are they actual prints, or is it possibly an illusion?
What did he do?
He's dead.
There's just
Okay.
there's a lot of music happening on
No,
my
this
side.
is Arthur. Yeah, Arthur's
That's what I
playing.
meant.
The drums of war.
You can do that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm just like touching the mud, touching the boot, and just making sure it's like actually compressed into the sand, and it's not just an illusion of some kind.
It's real.
Okay.
It appears to be real.
Do you mind if I ask you a question real quick before we go on? Can you change what you look like?
Oh, that's a very forward question. And I will do exactly that. So
Mhm.
you will see just for a second, just there's a slight alteration in my features. The horns turn more like an ivory silver color, and the exceedingly beautiful facial features just become a little bit less stereotypically beautiful, a little bit more imperfection in the features. Still very beautiful compared to like maybe a mortal person, but not as beautiful they were. And then I'll flash them back. And again, the twinkle in the eye comes, and the horns become this more kind of pewter blue kind of look. So yes, I can. That's actually one of the things. One of the first things I learned because of, as you could see, my somewhat hideous normal features. That's where my name comes from, or my epithet, I should say. It means ugly,
It
silver
means,
upon his brow.
oh,
But
your
yes,
people have odd standards. Um, Thank you. That was really helpful. And I'm pondering now everything that's happened since we started talking to people about crystals. But I'm not sharing.
Are these
And
crystals the same as were upstairs?
Probably roughly same size. Yeah, kind of that like, maybe even like a little bit bigger. These are like 1 foot crystals.
let's get to mining.
can't we find a way out first?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like we wouldn't have our minds on mining right now. We just watched our friend turn to dust.
That's true.
No, I'm
He would have
sorry.
wanted you to mine.
6-inch long crystals in this room.
6-inch.
So average.
I will go
ha-
over to the water and just dip my finger in it and see if it's
No.
really hot or just warmer than the air.
All right, make a save versus death. No, just kidding.
I was going to say,
It's
Just my
do
finger.
not try this at home.
Yeah.
it's warm. It's but not like not scalding hot. Like it's
Like a warm bath.
like a warm bath. Yeah. Um.
What's Apu's reaction?
I think maybe after he sees Thomas has touched the water, he's kind of like going over and he's kind of sniffing the water. He's dipping a toe in, and then he just dives right in, and he starts kind of doing a little back pedal, and he's like, and he's just relaxing in the warmth of this pool. Looks very comfortable.
Well, that's really tempting, actually.
It seems that the water is fine. I mean, I wouldn't drink it, I suppose, but it's not acidic or anything.
While
Well,
you're checking this out, you start to hear a sound coming from the southern tunnel. Just like it almost sounds like stone grinding or cracking and breaking. It's kind of like this loud like crunch and then another and then another, almost like something is like mashing or breaking stone.
Apu, let's head up to another entrance or wherever.
I think Abu probably starts to scamper and heads over to like kind of this northern tunnel here.
Does it sound like it's getting closer? I mean, does it sound like something walking or something?
No, it doesn't sound like it's moving. It sounds like it's maybe stationary. But it's ongoing. It doesn't cease.
can we be curious after we get out of here?
I agree. Let's go.
So is the party in agreement that you're heading to the northern tunnel?
Yes.
So,
I missed it. Which way did the footprints go?
To the larger footprints led to the south.
Okay, we're not going to go there then.
The Prismus footprints went to the north.
Okay, we'll go north. Yes.
I'm going to advance 1 turn.
How many turns for a torch? Is it 4?
6 turns.
6. Okay, so I have 2 left. Sounds good.
And as you start to move to the north here, you make your way into the ceilings kind of recede a bit. They get narrower, they get lower. And so now 10 feet high, rough stone walls and floor. And the crystals in this room, this is where they get larger. 1 foot protruding crystals, rainbow colored. Like each one is kind of prismatic in that way, where they kind of give off the light from your lantern and torch hitting them, kind of brings about this kind of rainbow band of light that is streaking across the room from multiple sources from these different crystals. As you enter in here, there is 1 crystal. Maybe it's not even exactly a crystal, but it's actually a spherical, almost pearlescent looking thing that's embedded in the ceiling, and it emits this light, blinding light that hits you as you enter into this chamber. I need each of you to give me a save versus spells.
Okay.
You're wanting to roll above the number that you have for that.
Oh, above? Oh, right, yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna check something real quick about elves. I think I get a bonus to certain kinds of spells. No. Well, is it an illusion?
Is it an illusion? I'm gonna say it's not an illusion.
Is it a fairy origin?
No.
No save here.
16. I fail.
You want above, right?
Above.
Okay. I rolled a 20, nat 20. Doesn't
All
mean
right.
anything, but
You're
let's see.
good?
Awesome.
Spells.
10 for me.
I fail
I missed.
as well.
Me too.
How about Thomas?
I rolled a 10. I failed.
Okay. So each of you that failed, you're blinded by this light.
Blinded by the light.
Ah!
And I just stop still and start listening as hard as I can.
All the mortals couldn't handle
Wrapped up like a deuce, man.
it.
Yeah. I begin shouting, I can't see, I can't see.
I think I'm just going to rule that all of the woodcutters are blinded also.
That's fair.
So you kind of get in the sense, Silver, that you're the only one that has retained their ability to see.
Oh, yeesh. That was quite it was quite bright, wasn't it? How's everyone doing?
Not well.
I can't see.
Okay. Well, well, listen to my voice. I will narrate what you see. I'm actually I used to be a poet, or I still kind of am. So I will try to add as much color and personality to the descriptions. What do I see, Alex? What's else in this room?
It's just those you see a passageway that extends out the opposite side of the cavern with the rainbow-hued crystals.
Got it. Well,
do we have any idea what? I mean, did we see anything before the light? Did we see it coming from a crystal or anything? Or we just know we walked in this room and chow, blind.
That orbital spherical pearl in the ceiling is where it originated.
high up. How high up is that?
10 feet.
Oh, okay. Well, I could try to crack the thing that blinded you. That probably might be bad, though, right?
big is it? Can you cover it with something?
Maybe. So I'm 6 feet, and it's 4 feet over my head. I probably wouldn't be able to like cover it easily. Trying to think if I have anything. I do not. I have a sack that I use to carry my bottle of wine and my oil and my like 6 rations. Tell you what, let me see, and one of you can come and just like kind of get on all fours and like arch your back up. One of you big swarthy lads. And I'm gonna dump my stuff out of the sack and try to stand on one of the woodcutter's back to get high enough to like try to put the sack over the orb and see if that helps at all.
All right. This will take some time doing, but so I'm going to advance a turn here for this.
Okay.
And I also make a roll.
No.
And we're on a different chart now.
No more 11th.
We can do 11s again.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So standing on the backs of a couple of, it sounds like woodcutters, kind of creating a little bit of a step ladder for you. You manage to reach up there, and then you're kind of using the sack. Maybe you're using the crystals to kind of like create a hole in the sack and kind of pincer it up there. Is that the idea?
Yeah, well, I just want to see if even just like holding the sack around this thing helps at all. Like if it helps them see if like, or if it's like it's already the effect has happened.
So it's already, it was like a flashbang. So it's not like a perpetual kind of thing. So you're pinning it up here, and it might be able to, filter that light such that if it activates again, that it might offer some protection. But yeah, if you want to deduct the bag from that, if you want to keep that hung up there, you can.
Yeah, let's do that. Why not? I'll take the sack and I'll tie that up. And what I'll do, because I had a bottle of wine, some rations, and the oil, and a water skin. Well, actually, the water skin's on my belt. But anyways, I'll just I won't take off my sheet. Just hopefully we can resolve this later. But I'm gonna hand some of that stuff over to the woodcutters to keep track of.
Sounds good.
I'll just make a note that they're holding it for me. Be extra careful with the bottle. I had planned to share it with you if we can make it to a campsite.
So the party, for the most part, is blinded. You're here in this cavern. You could probably you put some distance between yourself and that crunching noise from the south, but you could still definitely hear it. It's very loud. What would you like to do?
Well, I guess the friar currently is kind of rubbing his eyes, checking to see if he could see. No change at all.
No change.
Well, Silva. Anyone else? Anyone else feeling better? Anyone else?
Oh, that's toll.
I guess we are putting our lives in your hands then. He kind of says
Speaking of hands, maybe we should at least hold hands.
That's a good idea.
Know where your hand is?
We could make a daisy chain, and I'll just help everyone hold hands, like go over and just like put hands in hands. I feel like this is something symbolic, allegorical, and something nice, figurative. And I'm putting everyone's hands together. We're making a long chain, and then I will just whoever's at the front of the chain, I'll hold their hand and just kind of walk them towards the out of this room.
All right, continuing to progress this way.
Yeah.
All right.
It sounds like a very bad idea to progress any further than out of this room.
Yeah, I guess I want to get to the edge of the room and just see what else is there.
Okay. So you progress just a bit further, and what you see in this next area is maybe not what you'd be expecting down in a cavern, but it is a furnished, it looks like a furnished bedchamber that has been set up right here in the cavern. You can see kind of to the north there is a rather large bed with lots of plushy pillows, woolen blankets, and silk throws. There's a finely bedecked table laid out in front of you. Fine food and drink laid out. And more pulsing crystals embedded into both the walls and the ceiling of this place. They're also rainbow-hued crystals, just like in the previous chamber, 1 foot long, casting a soft glow.
Do I see any more of those orbs, an orb shape?
You do not see anything that replicates that same orb from the previous chamber.
Yeah, and I'll exactly how Alex described it is the exact words I used to describe it. There's a bedazzled, what do you say, bedecked? A table bedecked with things on it. And I'm just describing the scenario with an upbeat attitude. So we could stay here. I'm worried about the footsteps. Maybe we go in and go take a nap in the bed?
We didn't part on great terms with given. I mean, I think it must be her room.
Marjorams.
Yes. I mean, plushy pillows.
How big was the bed? Is it like human size or like monster size?
It's like a king-sized bed. It's
Okay.
large, but not uncommonly large for a human to
Got it.
occupy. But as you're all taking this in, out of kind of nowhere from the back of the group, you see a woman looking like the prismist, has a rock in her hand, and she bludgeons the head of
Oh no.
Winston, your woodcutter, gets
Oh, no.
knocked down and is just gushing blood from a wound. And you can see like the prismist, her eyes just look sinister. She knows what has just happened to you all and is ready to take advantage of that fact. And so this is where that was the surprise. And now we can roll initiative. So maybe we'll have Winston, you'll be the caller on this one.
Oh, but my luck is so bad. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Roll good. It's a 1.
All right, I rolled a 2.
Damn it.
Here we go.
Christmas is gonna go after let's see. I'm gonna make it a random roll. We're just playing this one Theater of the Mind.
Cool.
So this
That's
one
not working for me anyway, so that works for me.
This one is gonna go after Thomas, the woodcutter that you were controlling. And that's gonna be a 20 to hit.
Sounds
And
barely misses.
yeah, right.
Let's see.
And this time, she goes after this one, but she like grabs at the back of his head, and then with these like monstrous razor sharp teeth, goes to bite his neck.
Uh-oh.
He takes
Thank goodness he can't see that.
12 points of damage and
Oh, he
is
did.
straight dead.
Just so everyone knows, they have an AC of 11 and 2 hit points. So, if you're wondering.
So he was killed 6 times.
Yes.
Yes.
So 2 of the woodcutters down. Now, when you're blinded, you cannot attack.
Cool.
So that's going to turn it over to the party. Any movement by the blind characters is going to be mostly shambling around, stumbling in the dark.
Uh,
We're all
yeah,
holding
yeah,
hands.
what has
Yeah.
happened? Yeah, we just start yelling. I mean, that's all I could do is yell, what is happening? What is happening?
What's a-
Have you led us into a trap?
Alex, I'm gonna cast a spell.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, actually, how far away am I from her?
Maybe 20 feet. You'd maybe have the benefit of you were leading the group. She attacked from behind, so even though you're casting the spell, it would be a little bit difficult for her to get up to you to interrupt that.
Yeah, but I'm also just wondering because it's a spell that would hit everyone, I think.
Yeah, you do have the buffer of the people. Like she's moving through the the lunch line here, and you're just, she took her moment strategically that she was gonna get through all the blind characters before dealing with you.
Oh my god in heaven. All right, then I'm not going to cast a spell.
But you
I
could,
wanna move.
if you want to move forward through the group to be
Yep,
defend them, you can. Okay,
that's
so
exactly what I'm doing.
all right, and then basically everyone else is in the dark. This is really Silver's moment to maybe help or protect the group. So the other characters, if you do have something that's not attacking, some small thing you want to add in, just let me know. You can certainly do some flavorful things, but I think for the time being we will turn it over to Silver to tell us what your action is going to be here.
Yeah, so I'm going to run up. I can get just past there, and once I get to her, I'm just going to yell, "Everyone run away from me into the room."
Okay.
And then I'm going to take my two-handed sword and just say, "Okay, listen." And this is clearly not actually a mortal, right? Like I'm dealing with some kind of like creature or beast or something. Or I guess it's because she's got teeth.
Razor sharp
Right?
teeth. Yeah, like
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say back, and I'm gonna take a swipe at her, try to hit her or it or whatever with the great sword or the two-handed sword, and it's a 16.
that'll hit.
Okay, and then for the damage, where's my dice? Boop, boop, boop. It's gonna be 11.
11
I rolled a
damage.
10. Yeah, I rolled a 10.
Nice.
Oh shit. So this is a pretty palpable blow. Doesn't take her down. It's with your short sword?
No, it was my two-handed sword.
Two-handed sword. So you go to take a swing, and it just like hacks a big wound, right, cleaving right into her shoulder blade there, and she kind of snarls and looks up at you. You see her form transform. She changes to look like this bald creature with this kind of pale blue skin, and it looks like she's kind of like whipping through a couple of different transformations before your eyes until she takes on kind of this hideous look of this alien looking creature before you.
Yeah, and I'll just say, back. We don't need to kill you. We just want to leave.
All right, let's roll initiative again.
Dear God in heaven.
I was picturing like that scene in Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Age gets changed into a bunch of things.
Yeah. I roll a 3.
All right, you get to go first. So
Nice.
is the movement of the other characters to follow Silver's direction to flood into the bedchamber room?
Mm-hmm.
So you all
Yes.
do that, and then we'll turn it over here to...
Well, I am debating. I think I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay. We just have to remember, we'll have to declare those before those initiative rolls.
Oh, before the initiative roll. I'm sorry. I thought it was initiative, then spell. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, I'm going to cast a spell.
Okay. What is the spell?
It is Gust of Wind. So I'll hold out one of my hands, and this powerful, I'm using a lesser rune. It's a powerful blast of wind is going to rush out of my hand. And what has to happen is if the creature's human size, they're unable to move into the wind and must save versus paralysis. But I'm actually in contact. Yeah, well, it's okay. Then I need to do a save versus paralysis.
All right. And they make it.
Oh, fuck. Okay. So they can't move into the wind, but they are not pushed back.
Sounds good.
And-
So then they are up and they are going to attempt to reach out and grab you, pull you closer, and try to bite at you. An 11 to hit.
That'll miss.
All right. Initiative roll.
Come
All right.
on. Do it.
So I don't have any other spells to cast. So I'm just gonna go 5.
You're up
Nice.
first.
All right. So if the creature tried to grab me, I'm just gonna say, all right, I hate to do this, but oh, poor beast. Oh, and I'm gonna swing at it, try to run it through with the sword, and miss tremendously. I rolled a 3.
All right. And again, same thing. It's still got you kind of grabbed, but it's maybe having a difficult time because of the gust of wind. But this time it's going to hit with a 20.
No.
Goodbye, everyone. That hits.
Can you take 3 points of damage?
I can.
All right.
Just barely.
So it pulls you forward,
my
manages
God.
to grab you and bite at your shoulder. Another initiative roll. I rolled a 2.
6.
I've had all 1s and 2s on initiative.
Okay.
So it's up to you to start this one out.
Yeah, just another attack. And everyone is just retreating into the room, right?
Yeah, I believe so. It basically you're standing alone against this thing.
Oh man. Day 1.
17.
17 hits.
All right. Big money. 3 points.
3 points. All right, it is still up.
Damn it. Oh, no. Like, I hope that everyone's made it away now. Get into the room. Take a nap.
Does a 12 hit?
No.
All right, initiative roll.
Here we
Jesus.
go.
Come on.
I rolled a 5.
Oh.
6, 6, 6.
2.
Oh.
It misses. Your turn.
You missed? Okay. All right. And we're just trading blows. I'm like, this doesn't have to go this way. 3. Miss.
All right. Initiative.
Wait.
I rolled a
You
6.
would hear the friar start praying Saint Wittery of the Wood, to saying, "Please protect us against this evil, please."
Oh no, I rolled a 3. What'd you roll?
I rolled a 6.
Oh yeah, there's no way to beat that.
Nat 1. So I
Okay.
miss.
Oh.
All right, just gonna take one more swipe. Oh my god, 8. I can't roll. This is horrifying. We're just like wrestling.
Oh, hey, thanks for the raid, Malachi Gaming, coming in with 12 viewers. Wolf Raid, thank you for the follow. Chickamundo, hope you guys are having a good game. We are in the midst of playing some old school essentials. We are playing through our Dolmenwood campaign, and specifically we are in the thick of running through the module Incandescent Grottoes. Hey, thanks for the follow, Malachi Gaming. And basically the situation that is happening right now is everybody in the party, including their hirelings, are all blinded by a magical security thing that was put in place here in the caverns right before this bed chamber. And now they're being attacked by a doppelganger. And the only one that is able to do anything about it is the newcomer, Silver the elf, who the group was fairly distrustful of. So like if you could pull this off, it might be like your ticket to being in their good graces. But yeah, so we just rolled initiative, is that right?
Oh god, I don't remember.
Could be your ticket to death as well.
I think we just rolled an I won initiative with a 6.
Maybe so, yeah.
Right.
And I was gonna
believe that's
take an
where-
attack.
Okay.
So doppelganger attacks and gets a 15 to hit.
That bounces off the armor.
Oh, your turn.
Oh my god.
You can do it.
A 1.
You roll a 1?
Oh, you gotta get some new dice. I swear.
Yeah.
It's never helped us. Come on.
All right. Initiative.
You are killing me here, Winston.
I rolled a 3.
We're killing
Killing
me.
himself.
1.
Rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a damage die. So you're going to take 4 points if I hit. 22 to hit.
I
Oh,
died.
No.
You're down.
Oh,
That's it. Sorry, y'all. I had my dice, my cursed dice. So it puts me to -2.
Oh my lord.
So
Oh, really? Jesus Christ.
That's a good story arc.
We joked before we got on stream about Winston making a new character every session.
So I believe, what was our new rule? It was that if you ended up in negative, you just had to do a save versus death.
I think it was something simpler. Let me see if I can pull it up. I think it's in the house rules section.
You can look that up while we entreat with the audience that this would be a great time to use the EXP store to redeem a reroll, just in case he's gonna have to do a roll versus death to see if the character is actually dead or not. And so one of the things you could do to help them out would be to redeem a reroll just in case that roll goes sour.
Yeah, so it's a save versus death, and then you roll on a d20 to see what happens, which could still be death.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Oh, and
Cool.
we're getting rated again. Yanch and Yana just rated the channel with 6 viewers. Thanks for jumping in here. Hope you had a good game, good stream. We are playing Old School Essentials. We are running through our Dolmenwood campaign, and specifically we're running through the module Incandescent Grottoes, which is a great level 1, level 2 adventure module. So if you're ever wanting to dip in, learn a new rule set, or play a rule set that really, what it does well is mimic the original basic expert rule set from the old days, it's a great first module to maybe check out and try out.
All right. So, save versus death. I want to beat my number, right? So my death save is 13.
Yeah, you want above
14
Just,
or higher.
Just so you know, it looks like the Todd decided to buy everyone a reroll.
thank you.
Oh, the Todd.
Thank you,
Excellent.
Todd.
So that's going
All
to be, I finally have it updated on the overlay to track these specifically. So we'll set you guys back to having a pool of rerolls that you can use.
Okay. Here comes the first roll. 15.
So you're above.
I'm above. Yeah.
So you're
then we
unconscious.
I'm unconscious, but we're going to roll to see what happens to me. So basically the way we do this is if you save versus death, you roll a d20 to see the consequence, because there'll be something physical. Potentially, there is a possibility of something good happening. I rolled a 9, which is I lose 1d6 teeth. That's not a good thing.
That's awesome.
You said you were hideous before.
Oh, beautiful.
I lose 3 teeth. I'm sorry. No, I lose 5 teeth. I misread it. It's just right in the kisser is what it's called. So boof.
So as it pulls you forward, it knocks you with the right hook. Those little chiclets go flying and your body drops. The rest of the party, unable to see what is transpiring, you just can feel that you're being stalked right now by the doppelganger. It moves up and it attacks. It attacks Sir Geoffrey, the woodcutter that was with you. Gets critted and goes down. Oh, and it looks like Gabe just redeemed a ward, a natural 20 on a death saving throw. Yeah, you know, we will say that works for a natural success if you ever have to do the save versus death, and then we'll immediately use that to roll on the table to see what the effect is, which could still be death. But so you hear that a third woodcutter has gone down, and you're settling in, trying to maybe make some distance, prepare yourself to grab at and defend whatever might be skulking towards you. But then you hear, it sounds like there is another figure in the room, maybe towards the northern part of the bedchamber. You hear kind of a gravelly old woman's voice incanting some kind of a spell. And then you hear kind of a blast of arcane energy and a body drop. The sounds of combat are silenced, and you just hear footsteps, maybe drawing closer, and a woman saying, "Well, what do we have here? My defenses prove insufficient. I still have intruders in my bedchamber."
Hello.
Who are you?
You hear more incanting happening.
Uh-oh.
You can all of you that are conscious can make another save versus spells.
Spell isn't a fairy.
No.
Did not save.
No, did not save.
I rolled exactly the same roll I rolled the last failed save.
I rolled a 14 and I needed a 15. It looks like I was looking to see if there was any modifiers, but I don't know.
All right. So everybody fail that?
Mhm.
All right. So you all go, it all goes black. You all pass out. When you wait, let's see where we're at. We're at 11:40. This is probably a good time to take the break. We'll come back when you wake up.
We're taking a nap.
We'll take 10 minutes here to take our mid-game break before we delve into what happens here next.
Oh, no.
So thanks everyone for hanging out with us. Stick around. We won't be gone longer than 10 minutes, but we're going to take a quick bio break, refresh our cups of coffee, do all that good stuff. And then when we get back, maybe you can talk to the real Marjoram Gryver.
Hope so.
Yeah. Here we go. Well, we'll see you guys in just a few minutes here. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us here. We're at the kind of midway point of our game here. And big shout out. Thanks, Gabe, for the gifted subs. Looks like it's celebrating on screen as we speak, all of that. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. So as we are coming back into things here, if you're just stopping in for the first time, we're 20 sides to every story. We are a gaming community. We stream a lot of our games here on Twitch and upload our videos to YouTube after the fact. If you want to come and join us, we would invite you to come hang out with us in the Discord server. Pop the link into the chat there if you want to drop in, see if we've got any open games for yourself maybe to play in. We do run a community campaign that is a 5th edition game that is open to really anybody. And so if you're watching us and you think it'd be fun to hop in and play in a game with us, just jump into that Discord server and let us know that you're looking for a game, and we'll hook you up with the details on how you could create a character and be a part of that. So where we just left off, this group here had run afoul of a trap that had been located down here in the caverns that caused a bright light to illuminate the chamber and had a sort of blinding effect that affected everybody except for the newcomer, Silver the elf. And as the group kind of progressed, Silver was leading them forward through the cave, up until the point where the doppelganger that they had encountered earlier, that had guised itself as Marjoram Gryver, attacked, trying to take advantage of the situation. They managed to fell Silver, and the rest of the group, while blinded, was still conscious and awake, and heard that the doppelganger was starting to move through their hirelings, killing them one by one. But someone intervened in the situation. Someone else entered into the chamber and cast a spell that sounds like dispatched the doppelganger. And then this figure followed that up with a second spell. Before they could really talk or get any information about them, they were hit with a sleep spell. And so as we are picking things back up, you are all bound to the chairs that surround that dining table. Your vision has returned, those of you that were blinded. And sitting at the head of the table is this middle-aged woman, about 5'3", long grizzled hair, kind of dirty purple robes. They looked like at one time they were probably prestigious robes. Those of you that maybe are tied into the clergy or tied into the knighthood, you would recognize that these are the robes of the Imperial Order of Magists. The woman holds in her right hand a staff, which is adorned with a prism atop its a stave, and it is glowing a pale orange. And she's just you're all bound. You're unable to, you're looking around. Your items are all been taken from you, or stashed kind of in the corner of the room, maybe closer to the bed chamber there. And she begins to kind of look at you all as your eyes are opening, and she says, "So, we have a number of Lumorans here, very far from home, it would seem. Wouldn't care to tell me a little bit about how it is you come to find this place, would you?"
Yes.
Well, let's hear the story then. I'm pretty short on entertainment down here all by myself, so I'd like to hear the tale. I'm sure it's a good one. Lots of twists and turns.
You could definitely say that. Thomas, you're better at tales than I am, for sure.
Well, ma'am, we were tasked with, I believe you are Marjoram. Is our assessment correct?
That is good. You know my name. That really puts my heart at ease.
Well, we were set out to bring you back to Lamora. We were told that you had stolen something, and
Oh my gosh.
however, our task is not that at the moment. First off, I would like to thank you for saving our skins, at least for a time. But there is somebody who wishes to treat with you. And they are holding a companion of ours, and I guess curious what your intentions with us are. I don't believe this person means you harm, but wishes business dealings.
I haven't decided what my intentions with you are at the present moment. Strange group, it would seem. I figured somebody'd come looking for me, but an elf, a knight, a friar. I'm not sure. Woodcutters. This is quite the menagerie. This is not speak at all to the MO of the Lumorans, and so I need to figure out there's going to be more of yous coming, because I'd like to prevent that. I thought I did a pretty good job concealing myself away up here, but apparently not. But you're saying that you're looking to double cross the folks that sent you up here?
Well, first off, hello. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Friar. Friar Fitzpatrick. My brother is over there, the knight. And as we came to this land, we were prisoners ourselves. That was the task of our freedom, was to bring you back. But as we got here, I mean, at least I and most of us were thrown into prison for kind of showing our thumb at authority in the first place. Understand, we have no intention of handing you over. I mean, look at us. How would we do that anyway? You've already outthought us. We weren't coming to strike at you and such, but I mean, even then, you were prepared and ready. And I'm sure, as he would kind of glance over at the creature that's in there, that you would be able to dispatch us, no problem. We are only here. We are not tied to that government, to that kingdom. We are only tied to our friend that is being held prisoner. We only wish that you talk with their captor. Seems they have some sort of business deal for you, as you were told. We mean you no harm, truly.
It's all making so much sense now. Prisoners, they're weaponizing their prisoners now. And of course, they thought you so foolish that you might believe they would give you your freedom.
I mean, it has struck upon us all that perhaps we have our freedom already.
True.
And in fact, we were not here to find you. We were here gathering some of the crystals to bring back to a buyer.
Hi, I'm Lillibeth. I think you could say that we became very much more enamored of trying to figure out how to live here and at the same time help Sir Silas.
Tell me this. You speak of this benefactor of yours. You have someone that wishes to speak with me. I'm interested in that. Tell me, did the Lumorans tell you what it is that I have that they are seeking?
A crystal?
Sure, but they told you the significance of what it is, what I know?
Our information was lacking in that.
Right.
Mostly that you were in some way evil, perhaps insane, and
Sure.
had stolen a crystal. That's what we were told. It's not like we believed it, mind you. It's just what we were told.
As a side note to the DM, did they give us more information? Was it like some sort of forbidden? Like, I'm trying to remember. I feel like it was some sort of forbidden magic or something.
Yeah, the kind of directive was like it was too dangerous to really tell you exactly what it is. That it needs to be a secret, or it, the type of forbidden knowledge that could promulgate and become
So
a thing of it. Yeah, it's super evil.
Hmm.
And she tells you, the thing that I took from them is my husband, a fellow magist, one of the order. He's contained within the crystal that I took, their prisoner, because he knows the truth. The secret that is holding the entire empire together. The secret that the Imperial Order of Magists conspired with the Church to put forth as their answer to end the War of Brothers. The Emperor's been dead. He's been dead for a long time. The illusion that sits on the throne is controlled by them and propped up by the Church, fearful that the brothers would look away from the one true God and pledge themselves to new deities to ground and build the foundations of their new kingdoms. I share this with you. I am not here to keep this a secret. I want everyone to know the truth in good time, as long as there can be some thought put to what to do about all of this. Of course, we don't want anarchy to take hold. I don't know that any one of the four brothers that have divided the land over all these years, that they have a good heart or a good thought for how to take the direction of our country in a progressive way. But it is not right that this secret be held in that this select group of people, I was a member of their order. I believe that the Imperial Order of Magists does good things, but this is a step too far.
You say none of the brothers know of this?
No, they do not know. As far as anybody is concerned, the Emperor is just a feeble old man that is still clinging to life. But the Imperial Order of Magists and the Church, they bide their time. It's only recently that the Emperor decreed that the cardinals of the Church would select the new Emperor once he passes. I believe they're just waiting an appropriate amount of time, such that they believe that whatever decision that they make won't rile up the populace, won't engender another war on behalf of the Emperor's nephews. So I want to hear more about this benefactor of yours. If they can secure my secret and they would be willing to use it in a way that wouldn't be reckless, I might be willing to go with you. But I need to know more about them.
Well, and I think at this point he might talk more about it, but I think he would kind of look to her and say, so is this, I understand, I believe me, I am not a fan of the whole system and structure of the church, but it sounds everyone is trying to keep this kingdom together. Are you looking, what are your goals? Are you looking, is it that you're trying to share vision upon these liars, or are you looking for revenge for them imprisoning your husband?
Vengeance is not at the top of my priority list. Right now, I'm just merely trying to survive. And she'll kind of gesture to that. There's a cavern towards the back of the chamber, closer to her bed. And she gestures as if maybe the prism is down that hallway or something. And she gestures and is talking about her husband. And she says, my husband is imprisoned in this arcane device of theirs, this crystal. I aim to find a way to free him. I am burdened by this secret. I don't know what to do with it. So I don't know. I am not out championing any cause per se. I just know that what is happening, what is going on behind the scenes is not right. It's not right that this privileged few gets to decide the fate of so many. There needs to be a change, but I don't know what it is. I just need to find the person that I can share this with that might be able to use it in a beneficial way.
Oh, well, all of us met Silas in prison, except for Silver on the Brow over here. Although, and I can say only this: he was there because he chose to do something based on his own code of honor. He chose us to come with him because he thought that we too were perhaps not appropriately or justly imprisoned. So there's that. Unfortunately, he wouldn't be the person you'd be talking to. The person who holds them may have a completely different agenda.
Isn't Sir Silas imprisoned in a gem right now?
Yes.
A mirror or a gem?
Yeah,
I don't know if he
so-
was imprisoned in the mirror or if we just were able to see him in his prison.
Ooh,
I mean,
yeah.
perhaps if
Through
the
a mirror.
lady
Shantywood.
Shantywood, if she knows how to imprison people in things, maybe she knows how to get them out. That might be a good reason to convince Marjoram to meet with her.
Can you share this with her?
Yeah, I think so.
And hearing that probably doubles down on her willingness to go with you, because you will share that he is also imprisoned in an object. There are a lot of parallels there, like you say. And she will say, if it is true that she is going to make good on her word and free your friend over my testimony of what I know, perhaps she will also do the same for my husband if she knows how to free him from his prison.
Well, it seems like he might have some bargaining leverage over her. Some.
I would suggest in dealings with Shantywood, I would keep your wits about you, even though she is our benefactor and we are working on a task for her. She is a conniver and a schemer.
Yes.
Very well. It seems that our fates are entwined. If I free you from your bindings, there won't be any funny business, I am sure. And we will be able to make some plans to exit from this place together. Is that understood?
Yes, yes. Tell me, maybe as you begin or whatnot, what that fellow is he? And he would be gesturing over like to Silver. Is he still? Is he tied up, or would he be?
He's tied up
on the
also, although
Okay.
unconscious.
Yeah, they're just like hanging there, like drool and blood coming out of their mouth.
No teeth.
Another tooth falls out.
Yeah.
I guess maybe at that point the question would be answered if maybe she had seen him fighting on our behalf or not. But he would ask anyway, did you see what? We were blinded and, well, was he? He did not help in this, did he?
When I came upon the scene, he was defending you all. He was in combat with that doppelganger.
We've only met him, like, very shortly ago.
Oh, well then is he not to be trusted?
Well, apparently, maybe, yes.
Well, it's just.
Because he
I'm
really
not.
didn't. Sorry.
No, it's fine if he helped us. I mean, it looks like he lost. Oh, I don't know what happened to him, but he's not as pretty as he once was. That's for sure. Yes, if I will, I will try to see maybe if the one true God might see it fit. If we are all in agreement, though we do not command him his power, he bestows it on us. We are all in agreement. Maybe we might give him a bit of energy and life.
She begins to go around and untie you all, and as you ask that question, she says, "I'll leave you all to that decision. It seems like your decision to make. I must make my preparations to leave, and so I will be back momentarily." And she goes to this passageway up here and exits the chamber, leaving you to it. So
Okay.
you're gonna cast a Cure Wounds spell.
Yes. It seems like he's having some bit of deja vu, but he doesn't know. He feels like he's done this before, but it's totally. There's no way that this has happened before. So he will pray. I think it's to Saint Lillibeth because I remember that. And we all. I think maybe at this point, I don't know who, but at this point, he'd almost like say, "Now let us pray." And he might not even. He might wait to see if any of the other people in the group know the prayer already, and if they're willing to maybe say it for him, because they've done it so many times. He might look to his brother and ask maybe if he might say the prayer for him for this elf, and then he would say, "Through your faith, please," and he would cast it. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if you have to roll something first or.
There is a 2 in 6 chance it does not work, and that the one true God will not help me.
Oh,
So-
2 and 6 that it does not work.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, Joffrey's totally gonna blame himself for screwing up the prayer, like messing up a word or two. Like Joffrey's going to mess up a word or two. He doesn't remember it line for line, even though he's been reciting it with his brother since childhood. And if it doesn't work, he's like, totally my fault. It's all bad.
So absolutely. So I say just roll a d6, and if it's a 1 or a 2, it fails. Does that seem fair?
Or, Alex, do you want me to roll it, or would you like him to roll it?
Why don't we have Winston roll it? I like Winston's dice.
I have a good dice.
Great.
You are kidding me. It's a 1.
Okay, so can he use a reroll on that one?
Oh yeah, you can use a
Oh
reroll.
yes.
Can I do a reroll? Okay. All right. Come on.
Shoes.
You gotta
Shoes.
like mix it up more.
Need them shoes.
3.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay.
Alright.
Wow. It tried really hard.
Let's see. So 1d6. He touches your forehead, avoiding your mouth because it looks like that is painful. And you get 3 hit points.
All right. I'm back to 1 hit point. Yeah, I'll just kind of cough up a bit of blood. Oh, did we get it?
no, we didn't. No. You mostly did.
Oh, I'm dead. This is the afterlife. Didn't
I
believe
hope-
there was one.
I sincerely hope this is not the afterlife. No, but you'll meet our benefactress very soon. And please don't.
Good.
Yep, but just be prepared when you see her that she will look a great deal like the thing that you were fighting.
You mean like a bald, blue, spindly, gray man?
That's right, because we didn't see.
Not
Oh,
that good looking now, just a little less good looking.
Thank
Oh,
you
yeah,
for
I'll touch the teeth.
yeah. Oh yes.
Well, we'll see if I can glamour that away, but yeah.
Bit. I just want to thank you for you defended us, and well, and he reach out his hand to try to help you up.
I'll take your hand and stand up and just. I'm at 1 hit point, so I imagine I'm still like, even with the healing, just majorly fucked up. So
It seems that the one true God seemed it was fit that you are with us. So.
Oh, I didn't even put that together. You're a follower of the one true God. That's fascinating.
Yes. His teachings are both gentle and kind.
You have to tell me about them. I've never met anyone who believes.
So as
But-
you are in the midst of this conversation, you feel a bit of debris kind of falling from the ceiling. And as your gaze turns to see what might be happening, you look up and you can see on the ceiling, maybe even a number of the crystals kind of give way or fall as this opening, this fissure in the rock kind of opens up. And there's a great green eye that opens up and looks like it's staring down at you.
Hell is that? I shout out.
Oh, you see that too?
Out of the fire and into the fire.
I would yell out for Marjoram.
Marjoram
Yeah.
will come into view,
Marjoram?
and she takes a look up and she goes, "Oh, we need to go. My wards seem to be faltering. It is no longer safe for us here."
We would
Well,
have
you
time to
don't have
collect
to
our.
kill us
oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
twice.
Would we have time to collect our supplies? And
Yeah, she'll say, hurry along then. She's got herself has a big backpack that she has strapped to her back, and you just see it's like full to the brim with like books, and there's even like poems that are kind of hanging off leather straps that are just hanging loosely on the back of it. She's just totally overburdened by such things. But she just kind of keeps a wary eye above as you go and collect your things, and she says, "Right. So, the way out, the way in is no longer accessible to us. Is that is what I to understand? Then there really may only be 2 ways for us to progress forward. We could toss ourselves into the river and hope that the stream takes us out, or we'll have to take our chances on that hole in the next room over. But if we do, get ready to cover your noses. It is full of the stench and filth of troglodytes. It's not going to be easy."
Certain deaths.
I don't
Say
have
we
much
choose
faith and
certain
hope.
death.
Hey, just out of character here, real quick. What was our task for the Droon?
Your task for the Droon was to head down some stairs and go to an island where there were some sarcophagi and retrieve for him a 3-eyed goat folk skull.
Right. Okay.
I'm not sure how much he told you about that, but basically the skull of like the former head priest of cult of demonic worshippers that once dwelled here in the cave.
I will ask Marjoram if she has had any dealings with the Droon upstairs.
Yes, we had a battle when I first got here. I think I spooked him a bit. He's a powerful spellcaster, but I am maybe a few steps above him. Since then, he has not troubled me.
No, even if we go back there, we still won't be going out. Do we need to get out? Or does going further in also seem like an option? You've been here longer than us, Marjoram. What do you think?
I think if we're trying to make our way out, we really just have the two choices that I put before you. We take the stream or we go up and deal with the Troglodites.
Well, it seems to me that it's the two options are either know what we're facing or go into it blind. What do you all think?
I think we take the devil we know, as opposed to a river which might dash us on rocks or drown us.
Yeah, I'm not much into putting my life in Hope's hands at this point.
I have bad luck, so I agree.
So she'll ask if anybody has a bit of rope or a grappling hook.
I
The
don't
thing is,
anymore. I just used it.
I
Tell you what I have.
have a crowbar. That's all I have.
Let's see what I do have. I have. Oh,
We still
I
have
left
our
a lot of stuff on the tent on the cart.
we still have the way that we came down, assuming that we can climb up that, but that puts us
On the river.
in the same predicament where we can't get out that.
Now listen, we had 50 foot of rope. The drop down over there was 20 feet. We may be able to salvage 30 foot of rope from that rope to use up to 30 foot maybe. If
Then
that
we'd
would
have-
be enough.
Alex, did you say it was 30 feet or 20 feet up?
20
That
feet
hole?
up.
Okay.
I just have to look up a spell real quick.
Oh God.
No, it's probably for us. Oh, maybe. Oh, it is for us, bro.
Okay, take
We're
a deep
good?
breath.
I can look up a
We're all-
monster real quick.
We're all
No,
dead.
you without a grappling hook, you're gonna have a difficult time lodging a rope up into that hole. So that's what it is. Can you save
Yeah.
yourself from having to deal with the frogs potentially and going back up and taking that way?
Good point.
So we'll see. She might have something that could help. I just don't know what. I don't know what some of these do. Feel free to continue.
I could shoot an arrow with the rope tied to it, but that's not necessarily going to help.
I don't know
I think we'd yank it out.
sturdy that would be.
No, it wouldn't be sturdy at all.
So do we risk angering this Droon by not
Oh, you know what
completing
we
his
could do?
task?
I mean, we could always return to. I mean, we never agreed to the task with the Droon. It was like up in the air, right?
We can leave
Oh.
a note and say like we did, and just whether he finds it or not, we'll say we'll be back. Well, if you are you worried that he will follow?
You know what we
I'm-
could do? He's not going to follow. She can take care of him. I'm thinking about the hole. So we've already done it kind of once. So if we get people to stand on each other's shoulders, could we reach at least maybe?
Like a little human pyramid.
I think it was
yes.
A mortal pyramid.
20 feet up. I think,
Okay.
if I'm recalling correctly.
So that would be a lot of people.
Yeah, human pyramid. You need it to be pretty wide. Could try.
She doesn't. The thing doesn't work that way.
Okay. Well, there are the frogs. We have a
Well-
powerful spellcaster now, and we could shoo them away.
She says, frogs perhaps I can deal with.
Okay.
We might need to cross that that stream to get back up. Do you know anything that has? We apparently there were footprints down here. Do you know of large creatures other
Oh.
than those frogs?
Cave.
You can see she's just like hesitating to even explain that. Like she like doesn't want to get into it. But she says, yeah, it says dragon.
Dragon.
Wait, what?
We gotta get out of here. Don't worry about it.
Whoa. Whoa. That's not a word that you just throw around.
I thought about coming up with a lie, but it's usually sleeping. Oh,
Is that what the
and she's
eyeball is?
listening. No, that's worse.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, I can hear it. It's awake. Oh my gosh. Okay. We really need to get out of here. Frogs?
Frogs.
Frogs.
Go. Let's go.
Frogs.
Let's just go. Go.
Go.
Jeez.
And so the group starts to navigate down. We'll say it takes another turn here. So we're at 3 turns in since you have woken up from her spell. And
Did we have the lantern turned back on? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
yeah, you would need to have light. She does not have a light spell or anything like that, so that would be helpful. And then
How many woodcutters do we still have?
you have 2. I think the only 2 people that still have their woodcutters left are you and Isaac. Sorry.
Bless you.
So the group begins to make their way back up the rope ladder, back up to the first floor. And once you're up there, what she's proposing to do is she's going to try to cast color spray to knock out these frogs so that you might be able to get past there. Roll a 5, so all 5 of them go down, and
Nice.
sort of a little bit of almost like a feeling like Waymond is still with you. This spell that you've seen him cast so many times once again comes in clutch to save the group here, or at least allow a path forward. And so that is a 15-foot gap there. What is the proposal for how you're going to get over there?
Oh man, it's too far. It's too far to jump, right?
Mechanically, right? There's no way that we'd be able to hop across.
There is probably not cleanly, but maybe somebody leaping in air would be able to fall and grab onto the edge and pull themselves up and be on the other side.
And then how would we? Then if we had so if we're back up, are we able to salvage the rope that we already used if we're here now again?
Yeah, you'd be able to, pull that up and withdraw the short sword, wrap it up.
So Okay, so we may be able to, if one person gets over to the other side and has some sort of short weapon or something to secure the rope, we may be able to secure it on either side and then like do one of these across all of us. Is that our best bet? Okay, I'm wearing plate mail armor, so I vote that I don't do the jump.
Same.
Whoever does it, and he's kind of looking at Lillibeth. Whoever does.
Lillibeth is looking down
they
at the
probably
ground.
want to tie the rope to the waist, just in case they
Okay.
fall. They are not pulled downstream.
Can I ask Apu first? Apu, would you be willing to do this? This seems like something you could do fairly easily. I understand that he really can't.
You can just
Okay, I need a ration. Do I have a ration?
There was
Need
a whole
ration.
table of rations downstairs that we left.
Okay.
I've
darn
got
it.
one as well.
Just one,
I have
though, and hide
rations.
the rest.
Here we go. Take it. I eat for fun mostly.
He eats it,
Oh,
and then he like opens up his hand. Okay.
Give him the rope.
You give him the rope. All right. So he goes leaping forward with the rope, and he gets over to the other side and has the rope, and he's just like kind of tiptoeing around all of these frogs, these big toads.
Okay. Oh God, does he know even how to tie a knot? Darn it.
He's like looking around, and he's got the end of the rope, and he's looking around like, what do you want me to do with this?
Oh, darn it. Okay, so I have to jump anyway. So what do I need to roll?
I'll say you can roll either strength or
save versus death.
or dex. So you want to roll
Thank you.
under your score.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do dex roll. And I definitely rolled way under my score, so I rolled a 6.
All right. So you leap across, and again, probably not enough to like make a clean like feet landing on the lip there, but you managed to grab hold of the landing there, and Abu, I don't know how much it's really helping, but he's trying to like grab your wrist to kind of help you pull yourself up, and you manage to do that and get to the other side. Then he gives you the rope. Oh,
thank you. And hopefully I remembered to actually bring the short sword with me too. Otherwise I can use the crowbar. So actually, let me go ahead and try and use the crowbar. See if I can hammer that in and wrap the rope around it.
No, probably not a crowbar. It doesn't have a pointy edge to wedge it. Be able to, but if you got something with a spike-ish edge, like a short
chisel.
sword.
I have no short sword. I have an arrow and a chisel.
I'm sure that I would say the friar is very vigilant on making sure that before you jump, that you would make sure that you have all the equipment necessarily.
A good thing, because Lillibeth is pretty much impulsive. So thank you.
Yeah, he's done with his spell of healing, so he's not taking any chances at this point.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the short sword in and tie the rope around the handle instead of the blade.
Okay.
And
I'm just trying to get understanding of where this is all coming from. So is this Silver's short sword yet?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be mine.
All right, so you drive a wedge into the ground with that, creating kind of a makeshift spike here. And then the plan is to have each of you one by one kind of just use the rope to... You got another anchor on the other side? Is it just going to be people power for now, or are you also creating
I think I'll spike my short sword on the other side and do the same thing. And I think we'll instruct, while people are going over it, also to hold the hilt, to hold it steady. And then however everybody can get across most comfortably, whether it's some kind of crawl or using their hands or whatever, just go slowly and get across.
And may I suggest that the people wearing plate mail go last so that we have a couple of people, I mean, well, maybe not last, but in the middle.
Okay.
Do we
And
have
then-
anybody that's using plate mail?
I think I have
Yeah,
something on plate mail or something.
I've got plate.
I've got chain.
Oh, I have chain. I have chainmail.
Okay.
I have the power of the one true God that protects me.
And a robe.
All right.
I do have plate though, Alex.
So the plan is the plate users are going last.
I think we should send the plate users in the middle.
Or both
And I
of-
think
or
honestly,
both of the parties.
I think that and I think the Friar should go last since he's not wearing anything encumbering, and this way too, you know, like that the sword that's left behind, there's not going to be anybody stabilizing it, right? So if you if the lightest person goes last and we're all holding on to the rope on the other side, even if it breaks, we're not going to lose them. You know, is my thought.
Hopefully.
We will lose the short sword though, so I will be down just to a mace. So just keep that in mind. We're gonna have to get me a sword, guys. We're gonna have to look for a sword sooner rather than later.
All right. So Geoffrey, you end up going next then to make it over to the other side. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I think so.
And it does break. The weight of the plate mail is just too much. If it were the proper tools, perhaps not. But the weight is enough that it dislodges the short sword from the opposite side over where Lillibeth is. And so you fall and you drop into the rushing water. What I need you to roll for me then...
Alex, I don't know if this makes any difference, but Geoffrey does have chain, not plate.
Yeah, it is chain.
Oh, it's not plate. Okay. I'll penalize you for the plate, not necessarily the chain. So then you make it across.
Oh, okay.
So this happens to you, Silver.
Goodbye.
I thought he was
Maybe you
supposed to go
should.
in the
Maybe you
middle.
shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
But Joffrey's over on this side
The
helping.
good thing we just met him.
Goodbye.
Now I would be grabbing onto the rope to try to steady it. Is there any chance in hell that I could catch it and try to and he would be able to hold and we would be able to get him up?
Roll me a strength check. Try to roll under your strength.
Okay, I have a 13. I rolled a 7.
Okay. So you manage to kind of, as he's slipping, he's about to fall in, it kind of droops down as the short sword comes loose and flies off. You manage to grab the rope and pull him up and hold it. It's not sustainable for you to do this for everybody, but you're able to hold it long enough for Silver to get over.
Oh man, that was incredible.
And and as he kind of comes up, I'll like grasp his like wrist, you know, and thinking like he'll kind of grasp mine to kind of get up, and I'll be like, "Well met, you know, life for a life, friend."
I understand that.
And Marjoram would start kind of urging the party across, telling you that there's only so much time that these frogs will be incapacitated. And we'll move past this. At this point, I think kind of the pressure points are off of the encounter. And so one by one, using the rope to get over, you kind of maybe re-hammer that sword back in and then like reinforce it with just your brawn. You manage to get everybody across, including the 2 woodcutters that are still with you.
I'll take the short sword back too, Alex. Once we get it, and I think we should take the rope too, right?
Are we able to get the short sword from the other side and the rope as well?
I think so, because you could pull it up and just have the other person kind of hang loose and then pull them up with the rope. So that's no problem.
All right, cool.
Another turn passes, so 4 turns in since you came awake. So it's been about 40 minutes.
How much time does that leave us on our light?
I've marked down 8 turns total, but I'm not sure if that's total. Assuming that the lantern was off while we were asleep. And I've got 24 turns on this per oil flask.
So the group moves forward. The stench of kind of this swampy, kind of latrine almost smell is overpowering. Just the most terrible stench that probably you've ever, just like kind of rotten refuse smell. You come upon this next chamber, and you see before you another crystal grotto, this one filled with pale blue crystals that hang from the ceiling, 2 feet long. The sandy floor here is strewn with bones and debris and gravel and rocks, broken crystals. And then there are a number of boulders that are kind of situated almost like intentional. It kind of gives you like the feeling like you're looking upon some kind of primitive table, as there's one larger flat-topped rock in the middle of all of this. And then there's just heaps of filth kind of surrounding each of these, I don't know, seats or place settings. Heaped around in the southern end of the chamber, you can see animal skins and dried pondweed. They're kind of positioned almost like little improvised sleeping quarters. And, ooh, thank you for the subscription. And then you see perched, kind of lounging about, seated on these boulders, eating and ripping apart rancid-looking fish, are 3 creatures that have kind of slimy-looking skin, green, with almost froggish-like faces, are just busy eating and devouring. There's one that's got this like clay receptacle that it is glugging or chugging some kind of beverage from, and they're belching rather loudly as you come in. They all kind of turn their gaze. They could see the lantern light filtering into the room, and Okay, we'll do this. You can see there's another thing in the room over by the pit. There is this creature. So, you had asked earlier, Thomas, about did Silver look anything like an elf? And I said, sorta. Like there are some features that are spot on, and then there are some that are sort of foreign to you. There's a creature over there that, in a very similar way, sort of looks like a dwarf, but its beard is composed of like moss and little mushrooms kind of growing out of it. And it's got kind of a bald head that its scalp is just kind of scaly looking and sort of almost like orangish looking flesh. And he's all tied up, he's all bound up and kind of maybe borderline kind of like resisting a bit. He's gagged and muffled. And you see one of the troglodytes kind of move over there and like picks off a little bit of his mushroom beard and starts to like munch on it. And you can just see like the disgust in the creature's face that he's being devoured in this way.
Oh, that's not right.
And I think I'm going to make a roll. I just want to see what their reaction is going to be upon seeing you here.
Friendly.
They look up at you as you're coming into the room, and they're almost like their eyes are trying to adjust from that lantern light, and they go, they're kind of shooing you out of the room.
Do they appear to... Well, I guess they're not speaking Woldish or whatever, the common language, right?
No, they seem to be speaking some language of their own. There's still the one that's sitting. Well, let me move these tokens around just to kind of represent. This one over here, we'll say that the dwarf is just kind of sitting precariously right by the lip of that hole that you probably presume goes back down to where you saw it on the bottom side. He's picking off these little bits of the mushrooms and kind of getting into a kind of a giggling fit, and he's tweaking out a bit. These other two down here, this one right here is wearing a captain's hat, like this old sailor's hat that he's wearing, and he's eating feverishly these rotten fish. And then this one right here is iridescent scales and is drinking feverishly from that receptacle, that clay jug.
Marjoram, do these creatures, do you speak their language? Could you maybe let them know we just want to pass through? We're not here to fight.
I don't speak their language.
Could you maybe make a big blast of light to scare them, establish dominance?
I'm afraid I've used quite a few of my spells here for the day, and I've only got one left in me. Just to be, I didn't describe this earlier. There are 4 of her. Like, she's got a mirror image spell up, and has had that up for a little bit now. She tells you she's got one more spell that she could definitely cast, but you better have your swords and whatnot at the ready, because it'll mean trouble.
Do you think that light will allow us to pass if we rush through?
Well, we can't go backwards for sure.
Well,
Do we just leave?
they seem to be just wanting us to go, but I think more pressing is they seem to have a. Is it
Have a
just
what?
right to leave somebody captive down here?
Well, we'll be picking them up on the way, I'm sure. Whatever that is. Hello. What is it? What? That poor creature. Looks like fungus has infected its body.
Yes, it's likely dead already.
It does seem to be moving and expressing emotions, though.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So
Oh,
might
you would
be-
have to say that.
It doesn't seem to be liking being tied up. And I didn't like being tied up either. I'm inclined to try to help this poor fellow.
I agree.
Yes.
Guys up.
It just nodded its head. So
So yes, it's probably okay, I guess. Well, what he would share with the group that he has the ability to cast light in an area as a prayer, though he doesn't know if casting light would be enough to blind these creatures, or he could focus fire on one of the creatures to actually try to blind them. Otherwise, it would just be like a casting of light in an area.
could it? Oh well, no. Apu wouldn't understand. Never mind. Could it be a distraction for one of us to go over there and untie the dwarf, or not, or whatever that thing is?
We could coordinate. One of us could go untie the dwarf, put a weapon in his hand, or its hand, or whatever, and then cast light on one of them, and Marjoram, do whatever you're going to do, and then we just have at it.
All right, so you're going to initiate things with some spell casting?
Are we ready?
I think that's the assessment. Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So, who's sneaking? Because I'm not that sneaky, except for when I'm outside.
I still think
As soon as you start casting spell, we're gonna roll an initiative die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get that.
All
So-
right, so which one would I be? Everyone, which one should I cast this blind spell on? Pretty much just blinding spell.
Perhaps the one that's eating the fish.
Okay. I'm looking at the stream to take a look to see what.
Yeah.
Okay. So whichever one is that one, I would go ahead and say a quick prayer under my breath and cast
All right.
this light spell.
Roll me a d6.
Sure. Two.
All right. They go first. You guys start. You and Marjoram are beginning to incant your spells, and they leap up, and they're gonna try to stop that from happening. So, 1 second. I gotta grab my Trog stats. Are not in the book. So.
Question, Alex. Would it be possible to use a reroll on an initiative?
Sure.
Are you all okay with me trying to reroll that?
Please, dear God.
Okay, good.
All right. I had a 5.
Oh yeah, I had a 1 the second, so it was meant to be. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
It's worth trying.
Okay. So. We'll say all 3 of them are going to move up into melee with the crowd. Who would be in your front line? I think we're going to have Silver and Sir Geoffrey for sure. Do you have another person there that would be kind of blocking, giving cover to the spellcasters?
Likely.
Oh,
me.
God.
And then Thomas up there. Okay. So 1 attack at each of you, and we'll start with Silver.
Oh no.
We have an auto failed death save, right?
We've got an auto pass.
Auto pass death save.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Auto fail. That would be a terrible. Who would?
Who would?
I'd be really mad if somebody deemed that. I want to make sure your character stays dead.
Oh, Troglodites are no joke. They get 3 attacks.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no, God.
Claw on Silver misses. Second claw is an 11, and then the
Yes.
bite is a miss.
Oh.
Next, we will go over to Sir Geoffrey. Miss. Miss. And a 17 to hit. A 17 to hit, Sir Geoffrey.
Oh yeah, that hits. Sorry.
2 points of damage from its bite. And then Thomas, a miss. A 10 to hit.
No,
And a 20 to hit.
that one does.
4 points of damage.
Okay.
It'll turn over to your guys' turn, and I need Silver, Sir Geoffrey, and Thomas to make a save versus poison from the nauseating stench of the Troglodites.
It's
Wow.
above. It's above your save. You have to roll.
Yeah, above. You got 3 rerolls left.
I passed.
I had a 19 on the die. So.
What does poison do?
On this particular roll, you're going to suffer a -2 to hit while in melee with them.
Got it. Okay. I
Yeah,
failed.
Yeah, you basically got overwhelmed by the stench of piss, basically.
Yeah.
Too stinky.
You ever
All
been
right.
in the New York City subway? It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So to handle this, is anybody wanting to reposition themselves? The front line is still holding the front line. Any ranged attacks you'd like to see here? Let's start with Lillibeth.
Yes. So hang on just a sec. 10 is a miss.
10 is a miss. Any other ranged attacks?
Can a poo like throw a rock or something? Just
He has
He's
an
probably
attack.
just hiding. He does?
He does.
He does.
Yeah, if you want him to throw a rock, go ahead and make a d20 roll. No bonus to attack.
14.
But 14 will
He's rolling
hit,
better than I am.
so you'll deal 1 point of damage. Any particular one that you want to hit? You got the laughing one that's tweaking out. You got the captain hat one, and you got the drunk one.
The drunk one.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Braggle takes a point of damage. Any other ranged attacks? Otherwise, we'll move over to melee. So we'll start with Silver. -2 to hit.
Yeah, so did we coordinate on who's getting blinded? Did you tell us who you were going to try to blind?
The one with the fish.
One with the fish.
Whatever.
So,
That'd be the one in the middle.
okay, so I don't know which one I'm next to. I'm going to attack the one that attacked me unless it's the one that was going to get blinded.
We'll say from top to bottom, it's Silver is with the one that was giggling. In the middle,
All right.
we've got Sir Geoffrey, and then Thomas is next to the drunk one.
I'm going after the giggler. And I'm going to re-roll. Is that cool with everyone?
Yes. Go ahead.
13.
13 will miss. Sir Geoffrey.
Right. Swing. Nope.
That one will miss. And Sir Thomas.
15 or 17.
That'll hit.
I think I'm what, D6? Oh, I have that. I think it was a D6 that I rolled. 6 plus 1, 7.
7. All right. That one is still up. All right, and then I think we are now onto our spell casting. So Friar, a light spell on the drunk one, right?
That's right. You have a saving throw versus spell.
And he will make it.
Wow.
Marjoram is casting Magic Missile.
Ooh.
Yes.
I just have to look that up. I think it's a D6 plus 1, but I just have to see, does she get more? I don't remember if it powers up. You get more missiles.
D6. Wow. That's like a death sentence for early on for us.
2 additional missiles are conjured per 5 experience levels.
Per 5 experience. Okay. So she's not there, but we will say she's sending that at the one with the captain's hat.
I mean, it's a target. I mean, come on. You're wearing that.
4 points of damage. And that's the one that Thomas you hit, right?
I'm on the drunk one, I think.
The drunk one.
That was the third one down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attack the pretty one.
All right, so they're all still standing after the round is over. A couple of them damaged quite a bit. Roll a d6 for initiative. I rolled a 2.
6.
So party goes first. Any change to movement? Otherwise, we'll go right back to Lillibeth with your ranged attack. Abu misses with his rock.
13.
A 13 will miss. I think that's all we had for range, so we'll go to...
I would be doing a ranged as
Okay.
well.
The Friar's got a sling.
Yes. A 16 to hit.
16 hits. Which one is this sailing at?
Whichever one looks like it's taking the most damage, that's the one that he's going for.
Probably the captain there.
Okay.
Or
Yeah, the one with
probably.
that.
Sorry, actually, the drunkard one looks pretty rough.
Yeah, we'll do that one. 2 points of damage.
He goes
For
down.
the rock.
Rock hits him in the head, and he just falls backwards and cracks his skull on the cavern floor. Then we'll move over into melee and go to silver.
Going after the giggler. And that's going to be 16.
That's what the -2?
It's 18 minus 2.
That's a hit.
Yeah. All right. And that will be 5 points of damage.
All right, that one is still up. Sir Geoffrey.
I will go for the giggler as well. No, 2 does not hit.
And Sir Thomas.
18 plus 1, 19, or a 9 plus 1, so 10. So 19.
19 hits.
3 plus 1 is 4.
And which one is that on? You still have the giggler and the captain.
It would be the one that is closest to me, so whoever was in the middle. Because
I think that was the captain one. So you strike at him, he falls backwards. That moldy pirate's hat on his on the top of his head falls backwards, and as he falls backwards, you could see into his open gape of his mouth, and there's a gleam of golden teeth, like he replaced all of his teeth with pieces of gold. So he falls backwards, and I think that's everybody. So then Troglodite's turn. He's going to make an attack on, would that be silver, I guess?
Yep.
And that will be a miss. Let me do a quick morale check here for him. Okay, he stands his ground. So let's roll initiative.
That'll be two more attacks, right?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Okay, he gets a 17 to hit.
Goodbye.
Oh no.
No. Well, not really. Not yet.
What else? How else do you get this figured?
How many more teeth do you lose?
2 points of damage.
Yeah, I had 1
Okay.
point. So,
His
all right. So
last attack then would go towards Thomas, I believe. Or who was in that middle spot? Or that was probably Sir Geoffrey. Sir Geoffrey misses Sir Geoffrey. So we got a save versus death that needs to happen.
so you said that we would get a free pass.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Gabe redeemed that. That's right.
Thanks,
so
Gabe.
Just need to roll
Thank
on
you,
the
Gabe.
table to see what happens.
All right. Okay, so this would be bad if I roll, I think, a 1. Hold on, let me pull the table up again. I'm just trying to psych myself out for this. Where is it? All right, there we go. So if I roll a 1, I die. I rolled a 6, which is I lose an arm.
Oh no!
Can we use a
Oh my
reroll?
gosh!
You want to reroll that? Sure.
I think we have 1 left. All right, come on now. Come on.
No one. No one.
All right, 14. So I lose 1d6 dex. I'm hobbled.
Okay.
So I might not be allowed to be an elf anymore. I lose 2 dex.
Sounds good. Roll initiative.
4.
And I have a 6 on that one. These attacks are coming at Sir Geoffrey. A miss. 17 to hit.
That hits.
1 point of damage. And the bite misses. Any movement? There is a space. I guess there's plenty of space you could, if anybody wanted to get in melee and surround this thing, you could.
Can I go around that thing and go towards the tied up dwarf?
Sure, you could. So you move over there.
Yep.
Any other movements? Range.
I guess I would attempt to maybe flank the creature with Silver or whoever else is attacking.
Okay.
Thomas. I don't think Silver is attacking this round.
Oh yeah, forgot. Silver's
I
down.
mean, if anything, he brought some cool plate armor for Sir Geoffrey, so that's cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
Take off the plate.
As long as he doesn't turn to dust.
I have an extra sword.
So the way that would kind of work with the flanking, if this was a creature that had a shield, we'd deny it the shield bonus.
Oh, interesting.
Unfortunately, this creature does not have that, so you're in a more strategic spot. So any ranged attacks that are happening?
Yes.
Got the Friar.
A 13 to hit.
That one misses. We'll turn it over to the melee.
What, are we getting any Lillibeth? Are you shooting?
He was going to go free the...
Yeah, well...
Oh, she's free. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, my bad.
So let's start here with Silver.
I gurgle blood out of my mouth.
Oh, that's right. You're down. Sir Geoffrey.
Yeah, let's take a swing, Ski. Oh my lord. I keep rolling very low. That's not an attack.
Thomas.
All right, let's see. 2 rolls. Oh, there's a 3 plus 1 is a 4. And a 2 plus 1 is a 3. So
I think that is everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Initiative roll.
How about Marjoram?
Here we go.
She's out of
She's sitting
spells, and she's not going to get up in melee to fight this thing. So you're more than capable. I rolled a 6.
Oh no!
Oh, I
Come
bet
on.
you did. Here we go. 3. Sorry, guys.
All right. It's going to continue to attack Sir Geoffrey. 5, 3, a 14 to hit.
Nope.
So turn it over to you. Any movements you all are making?
I'm by the dwarf, but I'm not freeing the dwarf yet, so I don't really want to move. But here's my question: can I shoot at the Troglodite from where I'm standing?
Yeah, go ahead and make your roll.
Okay, so
Boo hits a critical hit. We'll say he does 2 points of damage.
all right, thank you,
Wow.
Apu. And I miss.
Right.
He's a much better shot than I am.
I missed as well with my ranged attack.
We'll move it on over to Sir Geoffrey.
Right. Let's see if I get a hit off this attack. Oh, yep, 19.
Okay, that hits.
Right, where's my...
Big damage. Big damage.
Is it D6? 3.
and he goes down.
Ah,
So you are out of combat here. Given the time, we're over on time, so I'm going to say we're going to cut it short here and pick it up with whatever you're going to do with this dwarf. And this was only 3 troglodytes, a big noisy encounter. So we'll see if there's anything that is going to be entering into the room here in just a moment. So
I have 1 hit point, so
to go.
Oh boy.
mm-hmm.
Maybe we should go jump in the river.
you can feel it. You can feel that you were close, perhaps to get to escaping, but you're not out of the woods yet. So, thanks everybody for hanging out with us here this morning as we play some more Dolmenwood. So seems like we're going to have at least one more session in the Incandescent Grottoes. We might make it out, and we'll see. There's plenty for the characters to maybe return to the Incandescent Grottoes if they do get free. There's plenty of reasons. It's apparently a dragon even. So we can see what happens with all that when we return in 2 weeks' time. We will be back on the 25th. So if this is your first time hanging out with us, we would invite you to come join us in our Discord server. That's where you could talk to us about this game, point out the things that we did wrong in learning how to play OSC, point out how your playthrough of Incandescent Grottoes or any of the Dolmenwood stuff is going. I'd love to hear all that. Also a great place to hang out and possibly get into a game if you're looking for people to play games with. So come and join us in the Discord. Introduce yourself in the lobby, and we'll welcome you in. With that, yeah, I think we will find out if there is a place we could go to raid and send the love on elsewhere here this morning. Let's go. We'll send a raid over to Tavernaut. So thanks, everybody. Catch you over there. And if you want to see some more stuff, we do have a game yet tomorrow night at 7 o'clock where we'll be playing some Dungeon Crawl Classics and doing a Lankmar campaign. So you can come check that out and see how that's going. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon.